I'm about to take you on an emotional journey that broke me open. When I was 18, I thought freedom meant leaving. Home felt very controlling, and I was meant to go study overseas at university. I was meant to go study business and fashion in London. Home felt very controlling and like a constant war zone. To give you some context, my mom grew up in war in Lebanon, and a lot of my life at home was mirrored like that. I was bullied a lot in school. I was very insecure, and whenever I tried to express myself, I was shamed, judged, or shut down. Instead of university, life had other plans for me. I ended up getting a job as a receptionist in an architecture firm. And at the age of 18, I started working around people much older than me, and they gave me wisdom, stability, and perspective. And that shifted something inside of me. I started to connect to myself, and I started to gain so much confidence. And that gave me so much perspective at such a young age. And I felt free and I felt alive. And I would like to invite you into a possibility that the simplest way to create a life of freedom is through conscious and real connection. No performance, not surface level networking where you do small talk. I'm talking about spaces where you can go, drop into your heart, let go of your ego, and express your authentic self and your truth. Because when we're in those kind of spaces, that's where everything changes. We start to expand. We start to see possibilities that we couldn't have seen when we are alone. And we start to feel like ourselves again. Sometimes freedom doesn't start with a plan. It starts with one safe connection. I'm Marina Jaubert. And for many years, I grew up in Dubai, and I spent most of my life trying to adapt and fit in. I was chasing stability and identity. And I spent over a decade in corporate trying to make my life look good on the outside. But underneath, I was craving something different. And I didn't grow up with the freedom to be myself. And I didn't grow up with safe and steady connection. And yet I craved that more than anything. I also didn't know that the world was full of possibility and life. And I really, really wanted that. And then everything changed. Almost 3 years ago, I was on a beautiful island in Southeast tropical Asia, and I sat in a plant medicine ceremony with Bufo Alvarez. And I can only describe to you what I went through was a profound spiritual awakening. My experience opened me up to many painfully and brutally honest truths. That I had built so many identities and patterns in order to survive, in order to be good enough, and in order to be accepted. And the medicine showed me just how much those masks were trapping me. Shortly after that, I went back to Dubai, and the life that I had built for myself in corporate just wasn't suited for me anymore. So I quit my job, and I realized that I was out of alignment and things started to fall apart. I went back to Bali looking for help. And at that time, I didn't realize that my anxiety was so heavy and crippling that I couldn't think or make any clear decisions. And I met a man who really inspired me and who I believed in, and he said he could help me, and I really thought that he could. And I fell in love with him. Shortly after that, though, he betrayed me in many ways, including financially. And in a matter of time, I lost everything. I also had developed severe lower sciatic back pain, which became so extreme that for over a year and a half, I couldn't walk or stand alone properly, let alone keep it together. And I plunged into a darkness and pain I had never known before, known as the dark night of the soul. It was my initiation. So through my journey, I learned two things. First, the power of being alone. Not the lonely kind, but the powerful kind. The kind where we can sit with the parts of ourselves that society has taught us to suppress and run away from. The shame, the fear, the guilt, the insecurities, the rage, all the parts of ourselves that we try to suppress. because that's where transformation lies, is sitting with that pain and accepting it rather than running away from it. And secondly, I learned that everything is a story. Meditation showed me just how intense the mind can be, how it creates all kinds of catastrophes, disasters, that we're not good enough, and that we're broken and we're alone forever. But a story is not the truth, it's just a lens. And when you can change the lens, you can change your life. My journey showed me how much separation we live in and how humans are so disconnected from one another. Even when we go to events, it's performance, it's small talk. There's no real deep emotional connection, and most of the time we still go home feeling alone. And I gained a lot of sadness through my journey because I saw how much separation we live in, and we're actually programmed to fear one another. And then that's when I realized what my purpose is. My purpose is to create harmony. I want to create containers where people stop performing, where we can be real, where we can laugh, where we can act like real humans again. Because the truth is, most events are very surface level. You still go home, as I said, feeling alone. And I'm on a mission to change that. So here's what becomes possible when you choose to build your life through real and conscious connection. You stop doing life alone. You start to meet people who reflect your truth back to you, who show you what you're capable of, who remind you your truth, and who support you and help you step into your power. And then you realize that your problems are really not so bad after all, that you don't have to do it alone. And you meet people who help expand you. And then you start to accept yourself more. You start to get out of your comfort zone. You start to feel a sense of empowerment, and you start to feel like life is possible again. I love creating spaces and containers where you can just feel the energy in the room shift, shoulders drop, there's laughter, people can just be themselves, and they're so inspired, messaging me the next day saying, "You changed my life and you made me come alive again." Because that's what makes me come alive too, is human connection and possibility. So if you're wondering, where can I begin? What should I do? Start to ask yourself, where am I hiding? Where am I isolating myself rather than choosing to be seen because I'm afraid of being judged? And how can I safely be myself? How can I safely express myself? Maybe it's having one honest conversation with a person and putting ourselves out of our comfort zone. Maybe it's joining a community where the goal is depth and not status. And maybe it's about being seen and learning how to deal with embracing our vulnerability. I create containers that I wish the younger version of myself, Marina, had when she was going through her spiritual awakening and she needed a space where she could express herself and find harmony and peace. So here's my wish to you. You get to choose every day who you want to be. Every day. Stop hiding behind your stories. Go out and activate your network with intention. Go out and find people and choose spaces where the real you is welcome. Because the life you want isn't built in fear and isolation. The life you want is built in relationships and possibility. As humans, we are meant to connect and co-create. It is our essence to thrive. Connection creates freedom.